Welcome to What's the Effort?
What the F?
Hi there, it's me and you. I am jumping on a little bit earlier than my regular time because I had to. My motivation has gone beep, right down for a couple of reasons. And as a result, I wouldn't give myself the way out. Instead, I decided to just do it. What am I talking about? Okay, so for those of you who may know me or have been following along, yeah, hi Robin, yes way. Anyhow, I've been sick. I've been sick since December the 8th, and that's a long time because it's now the 30th. And I've been on 2 doses of medication. I was told it was, one thing. And then when it didn't completely go away and my left ear has been driving me whack, I went back to the doctor. They put me on a second dose. And then today I went to the ear, nose, and throat specialist. And they did some tests and all. And he said, yeah, I don't think it was what they said it was. Hi, Pansy. Thank you for showing up. Anyhow, when I went in today and it said, look, I don't know what's going on, but my ear is still not what it should be. And I am still coughing. That's okay. But, I think I still have an issue with my ear. So they checked me out. And I said, well, okay, tell us, what your symptoms are, because guess what? Both ears are totally clear and they're perfect. I was like, what the frick are you talking about? I have this sound in my head that's like really, really, really loud. And I've had a tinnitus or whatever it's called, the ringing of the ears, for about 15, 20 years. So I've, gotten used to that. But this is a magnified thing and it's like straight in. And I felt like they'd see this huge infection in my ear. And I want to get on a plane to go down to Charlotte to open up my co-living property. And I'm afraid of getting on a plane because I thought it would, bust an ear drum or something like that. And so he's listening to all the symptoms and everything that I've experienced. And he said, so you tested negative for COVID? And I said, yeah, I tested negative for COVID and for strep, which is what I thought I had. And he's like, well, sometimes there are false negatives. I personally think that you had COVID because these symptoms often come after COVID has, kind of run its course. And it's called the bit like a brain fog. I am still coughing and I still have, congestion, but not like I did, before I got on 2 doses of antibiotics and steroids and this and that. I'm like, what the heck? So they were treating the wrong thing, you think? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, so what's going on here? Because you're telling me my hearing is good, but I can't hear anything. All I hear is, it's been hard to be in front of the computer. I know I've been missing what people are saying. What the heck? So he's like, it's kind of an after effect and it's going to last maybe for a couple more weeks, but you don't have to worry at this point on getting on a plane. Your eustachian tube and your ears are fine. I'm like, oh, okay. He says, you'll just have to kind of bear with it and be careful about the balance. Cause I've been also feeling like I'm a little bit on, like, for those of you who've ever gotten drunk, how at the very beginning, you're a little tipsy and you're like, whoa, okay, what's going on? And I better stop drinking, that sort of thing. I've been feeling that way, like my balance isn't 100%. My brain's not totally clear. He said, yeah, that's called brain fog. I'm like, why didn't I come to you in the first place? And I've been treating it wrongly. I don't want to have 2 doses of steroids and this and that for nothing. And he's like, well, at least you know that your ears are in good shape and it's just an after effect and it will take a couple of weeks to pass. So I leave. I'm driving home. I'm like, what the fuck? Pardon me. How am I supposed to handle this? What's going on? It's so funny. Some of you are on Facebook and others are on YouTube. I'm shocked anybody's here because I didn't even advertise. I was just like, I missed last week because I was dead as a doornail. I was really, really, really feeling shitty. And the week before I had Ralph, Pombo, who's a deer. He had So now I feel like I've wasted, missed a couple of weeks, but it's only actually been 1 week. And when I got home, I was like totally bummed. I was like, I don't really feel good. I don't feel like I want to get on. I mean, Pansy, thank you for being here. Thanks for you, Robin, and 8 other people. I'm shocked. I just didn't want to come on. I thought, but wait a minute, Effie. This is episode 64, I think it is. You can't just start not being consistent, because when you're doing something, you got to be consistent. And when Pace first, pushed me into this, as well as Abraham, that was it. I had to start being consistent. In the meantime, though, I have been feeling like, oh, what the heck? I'm feeling a little bit lost. I'm wondering whether it's somewhat, is it worth it? Are you guys getting anything out of it? What am I doing any good? I've been trying to bring good people to the podcast to, explain their journey and to share with us so we can benefit from them. And that part has always been great. But I have to say that today I was like, I don't want to get on it. And yesterday I had switched a little while after I had Birdie on. I decided to hire a small ad agency to help me, and they helped me somewhat, but it got more confusing because now I have 2 Facebooks pages open. One is a professional. I've got made a business, like all the stuff that I really don't want, and I'm not really seeing numbers going up that much. Although, frankly, I thought no one would be here. And now, now we are at 10, I think. Yeah, I don't know where they're coming from, but there they are, which is a surprise. It's a nice surprise because I just thought I just can't. I'm just going to let it go. And I thought, what the effing are you saying? You get your ass upstairs and you get on. And I don't care if there's no one on there. You get on and show your commitment to yourself. What the Effie has now, I think we're near 1,600. But it has dropped off because YouTube shows you how you're going, and it kind of has leveled off. And that's why I got the little agency to kind of help me get going, and it hasn't. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But it was interesting that I felt like just get upstairs and get on. It will help you decide what's happening. And you got to do it. You got to do it or quit. And the idea of quitting after doing this for whatever it is, 64 episodes, doesn't sit well with me. So I hustled my little butt up here. I'm sorry. Oh, that's so funny. Robin, you're so cute. Thank you, Pansy. I'm glad you're here too. And Robin says, hey, you know what? At some point, if you feel it's run its course, party on the way out. Yeah, I don't feel it's on its way, I don't feel I have done everything that I can do. It's just that I'm lost because this is new, and Pace is awesome at encouraging us and pushing us. And I know with you know the Owners Club, he's pushed every single one of them, and all of a sudden they're all opening up podcasts and stuff. And I'm kind of chuckling because, of course, I did the same thing when he did Project Forward, heading close to 2 years now. But it has not always been easy. It's expensive because you have to pay for the software. I think live is much better than anything else, especially for the you know, interaction that you have. That this is really valuable. I didn't think I'd have one little interaction. I didn't think anybody would be on here today, and still I wanted to, you know, not give up on it. But it is expensive because you've got the software that you have to do, you know, that you have to use. Whether it's Zoom, whether it's StreamYard, doesn't really much matter. You're going to have to use something. And then you have to also plan it and invite people and think on it. As you guys know, I've been using the movies as my adverts, and they have not been cheap. So I'm reassessing that part because I know it does draw people's attention, but I think the guests are also valuable enough to be able to draw attention on their own. So we'll see where I'm going to go with this. But I really want anyone who is starting an episode, a podcast, to understand, at least for myself, the commitment is heavy. Sure, the first few times you don't know what you're doing and it's fun and all that. But once you have a couple, even just like one person who always shows up, you feel a responsibility. If you're going to build, you can't do it by being inconsistent. The time, the funds, you know, the planning, all of that is, and then you get sick, you know. So it's a little bit more than what you might think. Although if you're in Pace's community, you can see how dedicated he is, you know, in getting on. He's like, I mean, he gets a lot out of it because there's so many of us that show up and we love to encourage him. But dang, you know, that's a lot of his life. And for him, it's gotten to the point where it's definitely more than worthwhile. And I think it's worthwhile for me. It's just that I'm pissed off that I was diagnosed with one thing. Now I'm being diagnosed with another thing. And, you know, my head really doesn't feel that great. And I just have to kind of accept that for the next couple of weeks. That's the way it's going to be, at least. And he wanted me to go to physical therapy. He's like, don't worry about because I've been losing my balance a little bit because the ear, of course, affects that. He says, physical therapy can, you know, help you on that. And I was like, no, it's not like I'm aware of it, just the way you're aware. If you've had just a little bit to drink and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm getting tipsy. You're aware. You're aware. So that's when you make the decision. Should I plan for somebody to drive me home, or, you know, cut the alcohol right now, start piling on the water and expect that in a couple of hours I should be fine. You know, that kind of tipsy. It's no fun. Nobody wants to. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they will stretch my ears. But anyhow, the point is, there's a lot that goes into the commitment of it. So think on that. Think on that. And some people have been like, oh, I got to rush to 23 because only 90% of people ever get to episode 23. I just checked, and this is actually episode 65. I don't consider that very much at all. You know, and don't ask Pace how many episodes he's done. Somebody in his organization probably knows, but what that number is, it's probably pretty huge. So I just wanted to get on, and before I could change my mind, you know, I'm naming this close, but still not there. So it's not absolutely automatic that after 64 episodes that the 65th would be automatic. You still may find yourself struggling and saying, do I want to? Is anybody going to be there? And yeah, only 65. Well, it's only 65 on the episodes that I've done for What the Effie. I also had a series on co-living, and those were, I think I did about 15 of those, and those were done on Zoom and live, of course, and then they have to be uploaded to YouTube. So I haven't counted everything, but at least with What the Effie, this is episode 65, and I don't consider that to be that much. And rushing to get to 23 or something like that so that you can feel you've survived is only the beginning. It's only the beginning. So, yeah, it is not always easy. And I agree, Robin. Making yourself accountable is not always easy. And, coming home from a doctor telling me, well, I think you had COVID. And these are all the symptoms, and you're going to have to put up with these symptoms for a couple of weeks. Put me in the dumps. But at least I know I can get on a plane and get down to Charlotte to finish up the co-living property. So I think probably tomorrow I'm going to see about whether I fly down on the 2nd or the 3rd, but get down there to get everything finished. And I may very well broadcast from the property next week. And I do have guests already planned. On the 13th, I have Doran Levi. If you guys don't know him, man, he's really incredible. And Dustin Rena is coming on the 20th, and he's super special. They're all super special. And I've got people, lined up. So I feel kind of like I can't go back and say, hey, I'm not doing it. But anyhow, so I know a lot of people are getting sick right now. So my heart goes out to you because I'm finally getting better. But for those of us or those of you who are healthy, count your blessings. And yeah, exactly. And just know it's not always super easy. Oh, yes, that's right, Ray. He does. Doran does a bunch of different things. And one of the things he has is a boutique hotel. He also has a restaurant in Philly, which is, I used to live in Philly. And, he's got all sorts of properties, multifamily, the whole thing. So that's good. And I hope you guys are making plans for 2025. I am, although I've taken a little hiatus on, what the heck can I do when you suddenly feel your age because of your health. But 2024 was not bad. I did get started. I got my first co-living property, which has taken a lot longer and cost a lot more than I wanted it to, but that's okay. And, in that, you got to roll with the punches. It's still going to be really worthwhile. I did get an Airbnb with Abraham in Atlanta, and that's awesome. I have done a number of EMDs and PMLs. I have, Edith, shout out to Edith. We're doing our first fix and flip, alone on our first fix and flip in Texas, and that's good. And I also did my first 6-figure lend, which is, I'm amazed I'm doing it. I've done it because there have been so many people that have lost money that, and I almost lost a large amount of money. And thank God to Melissa Palmer. Shout out, shout out, shout out to that angel that I did not. But as a result, I've been really, really cautious. And now I'm just starting to finally get to the point where I feel confident enough to be able to go and vet the person, vet the deal, and put the money in. So that's good. And I'm doing wholesaling with Rory De Silva. Shout out with Rory. He's an awesome guy. And we're going to be also doing some fix and flips. Those will be in Charlotte. So Charlotte is kind of my market, I think. But so I can't complain about 2024, and I have been working really hard. And that beautiful little grandbaby of mine, I love her. I love her so much. But I've also given her a lot of my time. So I feel like I've been working pretty hard and most of the time, but I have to remember how much time I've given to my grandbaby. And I'm glad I did. But yeah, it's amazing. Life takes, and I'm happy to give, but we'll see where we are in a year from now. I was saying to her mom that I know for a fact in a year from now, she'll be diaper trained. And like, I remember when her mom was diaper trained. That's huge. All of a sudden, you don't have to spend all that money on diapers, and they're true little people instead of just baby. So all of that, of course, is going to happen. And I'm excited about it. I look forward to it. I encourage anyone who is in the Charlotte market to reach out to me. Of course, if you're someone that I have known for quite a while and you're not in Charlotte, still, I should let people know. Hang on. Yeah, I should do that. My website is pretty much set. It's not 100%, but it is up, guys. So here we go. On my website, I just talk about, who I am, what I'm doing. There are funnels there. If you are a lender and you want to work with me on deals, you can do that. So now we're turning into an ad. Anyhow, never mind. Go check out the website. The podcast is not the website, but it took so long to get it up that I am glad that it's up. And there's both lending, the wholesaling, and fix and flip and co-living. So I'm kind of putting it together. So that's good. I feel like I'm achieving something there finally. But anyways, I think that is everything I have. Any comments or thoughts or questions you guys have, drop them in there. Otherwise, I'm glad that I didn't just give in to the feeling of, I don't know what's going on. Why can't doctors get their heads straight? And really, 3 or even 4 more weeks, really, and also talking about the cons of having a podcast. The pros speak for themselves. I mean, I've met really, really great people because of the podcast. And I have brought people on that I have, thought, I'd love to talk with that person. I wonder if they'll consider it. Do you know that not one person has turned me down to come on my podcast? And when we were at the summer camp, and Jamil asked me why I haven't asked him on my podcast yet, I literally started crying. I was like, what do you mean? Like an idiot. He's like, well, you've invited a lot of people. You haven't asked me. I was like, I didn't think you would. So, of course, I've had him since then. But it just goes to show that even though I have not had anybody say that they won't come on, I have not asked some people just because I haven't had the opportunity or had thought they might say no. So Vina, I'm coming for you, girl. as well as a lot of other people. Yeah, I got him, Robin. He's on one of the episodes. He was really, really good. So I'm very glad. And well, it's on there. That's one of the things that's also a big pro is that it's up there. It's up there. I'm sure when I look at this and I feel sick. So I probably will think I look sick, but even if I don't, it's up there. Whatever, good, bad, the ugly, it's up there. So that's definitely a pro. And I think it does push you. It pushes you to hold yourself accountable, to figure out who do you want to have, how are you going to do this? Am I going to, continue with the adverts? I don't know. They're kind of expensive. And are they really necessary? I like to keep things bare bones if I can. But anyhow, you guys surprised me. You must have your automatic notifications on or something. I really honestly didn't think there would be one single person on. And that kind of suited me well because I feel so crappy. But I'm super happy. And I thank you guys for coming. So, and I have to find a way to make these intros and outros shorter. That was supposed to be something that was done, but it hasn't happened yet. So I'm going to play it now, but I look forward to when I finally can get them cut down a bit. So I want to say, thank you. Michelle, you're a sweetheart. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very, very much. I will feel better. I can't feel rotten too much longer, but I'd like to say thank you guys, and I'll see you next week. I think that, where am I? Next week, I'm going to be in Charlotte, although I'm not positive, and that I will be able to show the house, which is coming along real nicely. Now, come on now. Where are... Sorry, guys. I got to find the media. Where did it go? Weird. Okay. I'll find it somewhere. Yeah. Thank you, Robin. You're an absolute dear. All right. Let me see. Where did that go? All right. This is weird. I've only done it 65 times. Well, 64. And on the 65th, I'm going to get stuck on how to sign out. That's dumb. You know what? If I am willing to look so stupid to everyone and can actually do it, then you guys should too. I mean, you can do it if you want. Just no excuses. All right. I found it. Here we go. Thank you, everyone. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, now I got to find it again. Dang. Take care, guys.